So just to repeat that last sentence where I left off. Then she stands up and looks at him, but dare not. You might ask, dare not what? I'll continue. But he smiles and understands. He uncovers his chest a little and says, and this one, mother, are you not kissing it? This one that grieved you so much and that you alone are worthy to kiss. And I'll just break off there because I know you're still not sure exactly what. I'll just say that when Mary's at the foot of the cross, held up effectively by St. John in all her grief, after Longinus has thrust his spear into Jesus' side and blood and water has come out, as St. John tells us in the Gospel, and as we read in the Passion narrative that's read on Good Friday at Mass. The wound is there gaping, and she, being in the position she is, beneath the cross, she can look right up there and see into the wound Jesus' heart, that of course is no longer beating. And this is a source of great distress for her, as Maria Valtorta tells us. So that's what she's thinking about, and that's what Jesus knows she's thinking about. And so, to continue in the narrative, kiss my heart, mother. Your kiss will cancel the last remembrance of what is sorrowful, and will give me that joy, which my joy of having risen from the dead still lacks. And he takes the face of his mother in his hands, and he lays her lips on the lips of the wound of his chest, from which streams of a very bright light are flowing. Mary's face is haloed by that light, flooded as it is with its beams. She kisses and kisses while Jesus caresses her. She never tires kissing. She looks like a thirsty woman whose mouth is attached to a fountain and who drinks from it the life that was escaping her. Jesus speaks now. It is all over, mother. You no longer have to weep over your son. The trial is over. Redemption has taken place. Mother, thanks for conceiving me, for bringing me up, for helping me in life and in death. I heard your prayers come to me. They have been my strength in my grief, my companions in my journey on the earth and beyond the earth. They came with me on the cross and to limbo. They were the incense that preceded the pontiff who was going to call his servants and take them to the temple that does not die, to my heaven. They have come with me to paradise, preceding like an angelical voice the procession of the redeemed, led by the Redeemer, so that the angel should be ready to greet the conqueror who was returning to his kingdom. They have been seen and heard by the Father and by the Spirit, who smiled at them as if they were the most beautiful flower and the sweetest song born in paradise. They have been recognized by the patriarchs and by the new saints, by the new first citizens of my Jerusalem. And I bring you their thanks, Mother, together with the kisses of their relatives, with their blessings, and with that of Joseph, the spouse of your soul. The whole of heaven sings its Hosanna to you, Mother, Holy Mother, a Hosanna that does not die, that is not a false one, like the one given to me a few days ago. I should just pause there. The false Hosanna that Jesus received a few days ago, is the Hosanna of the people who were hailing him as he entered on the donkey, according to Zechariah's prophecy 9, chapter 9, verse 9, singing to him as he entered Jerusalem, alleging that they believed him to be the king. No doubt giving the impression that in their own minds that they would stand by him. That was the false Hosanna to which Jesus referred. But the true Hosanna was coming from heaven. And Jesus tells us that when he died and he descended to the realm of the dead to release the captives there, our tradition would say Adam, Eve, the patriarchs, Seth, Noah, and all of them plus Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, all the prophets, these were unable to go to heaven because Jesus had not yet opened the gates by his death. But now he has come to collect them. And Mary's prayers had followed him on from the cross down to limbo. And they're there with him as he took the patriarchs and the others up to paradise with him. And by the way, just as an aside, there's that for some a confusing passage when the good thief on the cross, whose name is Dismas by our tradition, if I remember rightly, when he says, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom, and Jesus says, this day you will be with me in paradise. How can he say that? Well, Dismas, having been converted on his own cross, repenting of his sins, calling out to Jesus, descends to the realm of the dead at his own death, which is subsequent to Jesus's, because the robber's bones are broken, their legs are broken, but Jesus is not, because he's already dead. So the good thief and the bad thief die shortly after Jesus, because they won't last long once their legs are broken. And they go down to the dead, the bad thief to hell and will not be released, but the good thief to limbo. And he will go with Jesus and all the others, all the good of the Old Testament, up to paradise that very day, that very Friday. And thus it is to be said, the good thief will be with him that very day in paradise. To continue the narrative, Jesus is still speaking to the Blessed Virgin, who is obviously completely, shall we say, blown away with happiness